and can't get socks on,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff and everything. And I thought, well, okay, I've had this kind of happen before, and my wife had it go completely out on her. She was incapacitated for a week, but I thought a couple of days. And man, being on, now on day 4, it's like I have to get on an airplane on Thursday. And I don't like flying to begin with.
And you have a performance or several, right?
I have several, yeah. And so it's guitars and driving and loading things, and so
I'm transferring all your notes over real quick, and then we'll dive into this.
Okay.
And by the way, I love it when you have a deadline, meaning like it's Monday and on Thursday I need to be out. Are you flying out Thursday? Or
I fly.
Wednesday?
I have to drive to the airport at 5:30 in the morning on Thursday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So, and driving is probably one of those things. It's one of the common things that really aggravates backs don't like.
Well, see, the thing is, like, when I woke up the day that it happened, I think it was the next day, I had to drive to Crowell, Texas for a concert. It's a 6-hour drive,
Ooh.
And I don't know that they do anything. My wife used it, I hooked it up anyway. I did a TENS machine,
Yeah.
and stuff, and I just ibuprofen trying to make the drive. And I got through that evening's house concert, but then had to drive back the next day.
Oh.
And the driving was, and I was doing everything I could, like I would change positions a lot,
Yeah.
Try to not just stay in the same, move the lumbar up and back and tried to shift it. But my God, I could tell, and so I knew for a fact that airplanes and airports weren't going to work.
Yeah.
Because those chairs are uncomfortable to begin with.
So you're driving to the airport, then flying.
I'm driving from Wimberley to the airport, and then I fly to Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
And I think with the stopover, that kind of thing. So it's,
How long is that flight? Like three hours?
I don't know. You stop in Denver, I think.
Oh, I see.
And usually, and you got to switch planes, and so it's not terrible, but I'm used to flying and stuff, but it's gotten to the point, the COVID thing coming back again, just airports and airplanes. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
And I've got 90-year-old parents, so I have to take the COVID thing real seriously. And,
Yeah.
But anyway, I just, I will be on it. Like last night, later on, it's a tiny bit better. Just kind of basic ibuprofen one yesterday evening. I did one this morning. And getting up out of bed this morning wasn't quite as bad.
Yeah.
It seemed slightly better.
Slightly better. So just to clarify, so this happened just a couple of days ago? How long ago?
Thursday morning.
Okay. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so like 4 days ago?
Yeah, Thursday
4
morning.
days ago on getting out of bed.
Yeah, and I had probably done some yard work on Wednesday, outdoor work. Mm-hmm. Some of it may be fairly hefty, kind of stuff, whatever. I do that all the time.
Yep.
And I do have a few kind of extraordinary, kind of deep down stressors in my life right now.
Sure.
And,
all of it. The world's gone mad.
yeah, stress.
And not to mention our personal stuff,
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the world. There's a separate problem. But
Yeah, like we don't have enough to begin with, right? Okay. All right. So, getting up, you woke up, got out of bed, hit you hard.
Oh man,
seized up.
it was, and it was just, I think my back maybe had been a little kind of sore maybe the evening before like that, but it was waking up on Thursday morning when trying to get out of bed, it was searing,
Where's the pain when you get it?
It's pretty focused. It's right.
Center, kind of right across the waistband.
It's right kind of here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And let's see what you told me here. You said, yeah, and you're welcome to sit or stand, whatever's best for you, okay?
I like sitting and getting up and sitting and,
Do as much of that as you need to.
I mean, the thing, like, even though some of it might hurt, walking and doing stuff or whatever, it seems like the worst thing is nothing. Doing nothing.
That's actually great news, though. Here's why. I mean, it doesn't feel great to you. Here's why it's great. Because if you had something seriously torn, structural damage inside you, tear, fracture, rupture, herniation, dislocation, the more you move and use your back, the faster it's going to fail.
Right, yeah.
Because you're running on broken parts.
Now, for me, it seems like it's the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that suggests it's not a big, scary problem to begin with.
Right.
If moving makes it feel a little better, and the worst is when you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign. We want to rule out scary stuff first, and if we can do that, it just means it's usually a pretty straightforward fix. Usually.
Yeah.
So pain is severe at worst, traveling soon, sitting, lifting luggage in the overhead bins, and playing your events, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing. I get, my guitar, has a fairly hefty hard shell case,
Yeah.
trying to, so you're bending at your knees
Yes.
to pick up your guitar, and it hurts like hell,
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you feel old.
Oh my God, it's all those things,
And you're a young guy. You're 58. I say that I'm about to be 55. You can't be old because that'd make me old. So
Well,
yeah, we're young.
Honestly, there's a lot of ways I work hard at, fitness. For somebody of my build and age or whatever, but I think, there's a lot of ways in which I'm healthier than I was in my 30s.
Good.
Much. I weigh less. It's all, and I have more muscle than I did.
Eat better, sleep better, move more.
And sleep, because of life issues.
Yeah.
Parents and a marriage on the way out.
Oh.
Sleep has not been going well at all.
Oh.
At all. And I'm also wondering if that, has anything to do with it.
It can absolutely.
Because it's been bad for months, really hard to sleep. And, I'm trying not to go the drug route, so I'll take a Ativan a friend gives me once, and then it's like an allergy pill. Mm-hmm. And then next night I'll try a gummy because I don't want to get onto I don't want to do one thing, but doing nothing, I'll wake up at 1:30 and stare at the ceiling for the rest of the night,
Okay. So here's how I like to, here's how I look at these things. So there's never just one cause for pain. There's always multiple contributors to it. Some of them are little ones, some are big ones, some are medium sized, and lack of sleep is absolute. That's when you're doing most of your healing. Your body's, you're dealing with the psychological stuff that, your dreams, you work through all that stuff. You're replenishing all the nutrients your body burned yesterday at night. If you don't get enough sleep or it's not quality enough, none of that stuff happens. It can just pile up on you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've been worried about the cumulative effect of the sleep problem. Sleep has been a little bit better last week or two. Getting to closer to 5, 6, sometimes 7 hours of
so
sleep.
A better night's sleep is 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, and I've slept for 8 a couple of times and lately, and so but there was a time when it was not going well.
So I'm going to unofficially, I'll ask you something off camera a little later, as far, because I struggle with sleep as well. Mm-hmm. I have separate issues. So I have stage 4 cancer, which causes, not to make this about me at all, but the side effects of the surgeries and all this stuff I have, it makes sleep really tough.
Yeah, Tim was telling me, I mean, I'm assuming you and Tim know each other.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Pretty well. And he was telling me a little bit about your situation. And I said, man, it's...
I've found sleep to be kind of a keystone for everything else, for me. So wherever your biggest deficits are, those are the things to attack first. So we said there's multiple contributors, right? Flexibility, hydration, sleep, I mean, how much you can move, all these things, age, and, other diabetes or thyroid issue, all these things are possible contributors. I always want to find the big monster ones and attack them first.
Right.
So we get a big payoff, a big win out of the gates. Then we can clean up some of the littler stuff later. But sleep sounds like it's up there for you. I have something I'll recommend to you off camera, just so we can talk about it freely there. That has been very helpful for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been. It's I mean, God, the cancer thing affects every life, and very long, slow, horrible process with a mother-in-law that I loved dearly.
Oh no.
Lost her last December, but lost a friend a long time ago. But I've been going through with my closest friend just for a year and a half now. The whole MD Anderson thing.
Yes.
It's waiting for news. That's the worst. It's
the uncertainty.
It's a nightmare.
It is.
It's not necessarily. The waiting, the not knowing the time. It's like, God, it just, you're just waiting for this test, and then
it's like your whole life is on pause. Their whole life is on pause.
Right.
And I can relate to that.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sorry.
No.
But it's tough.
It takes a toll. It takes a toll, especially for you.
And there's no sleep.
Yes.
There's no. I mean, he can't sleep. He can't. He can't.
Yeah.
Because your brain won't. You get feedback loops, which is a big part of what I'm dealing with right now.
Feel like your brain won't turn off?
Yeah, and just this weekend, parents moved into assisted living.
Oh wow.
From a place they didn't like to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're good people. They still have their minds, and so they're aware, and it's just so sleep, I would say, is big. Yeah, because I am normally, like, I'm a walker. I'm pretty good about stretching. I'm a stretcher. I walk. And do lots of back stretching and stuff. And I think that's a little bit why this baffled me, because I am somewhat preventative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
have you had low back pain before?
I've dealt with it for a long time, but mild to irritating.
Not this scale.
Nothing like this. No. But it is because I work with rocks and stuff outside. I do rock stacking, dry stacking rock work, and over the years I have changed the way I do it, to be more careful. I also deal with arthritis in the hands, which is scary as a guitar player, because that's how I make my living.
Have you seen anyone about that?
Not. I think I talked to you about it a little bit last time, but it's been, 2019, I think, or something since.
It's been a long time, yeah.
I mean, it was a long time since I'd seen you, but I am very careful, with this, and really, I sleep with the compression gloves, and
you did,
and which I find, like, the difference between not sleeping with them and sleeping with them is pretty extraordinary.
Good. That's your answer.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And so that has been great. I take turmeric every day. I try everything I can to avoid the drug route. Mm-hmm. But I've probably taken more ibuprofen in the last 4 days than I would take in a year.
Yeah.
Because I try not to do, that stuff when I don't have to.
And I don't blame you, man. And no one wants those things. Anti-inflammatories, muscle relaxers, painkillers, steroids, all that stuff, right? Or Ambien. No one wants to need all that stuff. They have a place, as far as the pain relief things, is just to get you through a rough patch. They don't fix anything. They don't speed healing. Of course, they have side effects that we don't want. But I'm glad they exist. They've been helpful for me coming out of a surgery. There's 2 days where I wouldn't be able to sleep unless I had the Tylenol or whatever. But I don't want to need it for life.
Right.
And I certainly don't want you to need it for life, or at all, if possible.
Yeah, and so that's another thing is I'm always moving my hands. I'm always, my fingers and,
You
just
don't
trying
look like you got big swollen joints or anything.
Yeah, I think it's like if I don't sleep with those gloves and if I'm not, honestly, I drink a lot of water. I try to drink a lot of water.
So you're leading into my next question here. I like this. Let's see. So you said avid water drinker. Any idea roughly how much you get in a day? Do you think at least 2 liters?
That's a good question.
2 of these?
I mean, I kind of walk, I have a glass, about that size or whatever, and I think, I swear, I drink half a glass of water, I think, every time I walk by the sink. I mean, I don't know, so I drink small amounts.
Yeah, sip throughout your day.
When I'm driving, always big thing, got my big thermos thing here, always have water, always drink throughout the day. I don't think I've ever tracked the amount.
Okay. I would say for you about 3 liters a day, about 100 ounces. It's probably a good amount for you. And that can vary. That would be on a sedentary day.
Right.
I'd say at least 2 liters, but 3 would probably be good because you're quite active. On an active day, your water needs to go up because you're burning through it faster. Mm-hmm. The reason I ask about water and I ask about protein is because if you're low on either of those things, it can delay healing. If you don't have the nutrients your body needs to do its job, recovering and healing and moving and all those things. And it's an easy thing to fix in most cases. So, and I'll email all this to you, so you don't have to memorize any of this stuff. But as long as you're not vegan or vegetarian, you're probably good on protein, I would think.
Well, what are your go-tos on protein?
Sources?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Your body doesn't matter the source, it just cares that it gets enough.
Okay.
But to answer your question, I'm a lifelong vegetarian, but then I got real anemic from the chemo and all that stuff. So now I eat salmon. I eat a burger a week or something like that.
I tell people I'm a non-practicing vegetarian.
I love that.
Like a good Jew, I'm a non-practicing vegetarian.
Yes.
So it's like, look, if my friend is cooking steaks on the grill out back, I was like, come on.
Yes.
But I really don't. I don't buy red meat. I don't.
Okay.
If I do meat, it's more often turkey than anything. Yes. But fish.
Yeah.
I do eat fish.
Okay.
So.
And let's figure out, just for while we're talking about it, we'll get a rough total for what a target might be for you. So can I ask how much you weigh about?
I hover around 160. I've been down as low as 150 in the last couple of months or so. I think I'm back up closer to 160 now, but I'm not sure. Somewhere in there.
Okay. So,
but I'm very careful not to go past 165 or 170. Yeah. Shut it down now. Because
make some tweaks.
The farther you go, the harder it gets to get back.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be around about 100 grams a day. So 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight, or I'll say ideal body weight. The body weight you said at 150, 160 is your range you like to stay in.
100 grams of protein a day. That's a lot.
However, if you think about it, like a full chicken breast is around 43 grams.
Okay.
That's almost halfway there, just one chicken breast.
I see.
An egg is about 5, ounce of cheese about 5. Beans have protein, nuts and stuff do too. They're like weaker sources. Fish, like a typical fillet, maybe like 25 grams, something like that. Mm-hmm. And what I do, because I can't eat enough, sometimes I feel like I can't eat the pile of food that has the protein I need, whey protein, just with a little water, down it, that's like 25 grams for 1 scoop. It's an easy way to supplement.
Okay.
It's cheap.
And you like the whey protein.
Yeah, I mean, there are many kinds. There's plant-based, and there's whey, and there's hemp, and there's a bunch of other kinds. Whey protein is complete, so it has all the amino acids you need. It digests easily.
Do you have a brand?
I just get mine at H-E-B, man.
H-E-B.
Yeah, I get.
Do they have like their own? They have their own everything, but
H-E-B brand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have one for protein yet.
Okay.
And I've gone, since with my issue, I've tried going grass-fed, no sugar added, no hormones, no any, grass-fed, which is like $80 for 5 pounds, which is pricier. And it's about maybe $65 for the organic grass-fed version for 5 pounds, and that'll last you a long time. That's like 80 servings. The short answer is I don't get real particular in general. I'm just I got mine at Costco. I got a big bag. It's like 6.5 pounds for, I don't know, whatever it was. So you can go deeper into that kind of stuff if you want. Personally, I don't. I just want to make sure my body's getting the minimum requirements of nutrients to do the stuff I want to do, including healing.
Right.
So I'll just include this in here too. So we'll say minimum. You're big on protein. You may be fine. We'll just say should be getting, we'll say 100 to 120. If you had a rock stacking day, you're out in the yard, all day working hard, it may go from 100 to 120 grams. Just because, again, you're using your muscles, they need to repair. 100 to 120 grams a day. Okay. And you said you are not getting shooting pain, numbness, or weakness in legs or feet, right?
No.
So that's fantastic. That really kind of mostly rules out disc injury or a serious disc injury as being a contributor to why you hurt, which is nice. Not that would mean surgery automatically. If you did have a disc, we all have disc bulges. Normal, healthy people do. The only time they matter is if they're pinching something that hurts, like a nerve, giving you. But then you'd probably have stuff going down your leg, which you don't. Okay. I think you have answered all my questions here, Mr. Nathan. Let's see here. Anything else to contribute before we check you out, man?
I think that's everything.
Okay. So I'm going to do an exam. I'm going to go fast. When I'm done, I'll have a diagnosis for you, which is why I think your back hurts.
Okay.
Based on that diagnosis, it tells us which therapies to plug in to address the things we found.
Okay.
So we have a plan.
Okay.
Good place to start. And I saw you gimping a little bit as you walked in here, or at least walking a little slow.
Yeah. It's that's walking. I can still. I think the other thing about the walking is that I'm nervous because there are certain movements. Turning this way, you'll get the little
Yeah.
like turning away from the car and turning away, that kind of thing. And so I think it's more just fear.
Yes.
Of making a wrong movement.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
And that's not just you, that's all of us. So we're all pain averse, meaning we don't like pain.
Right.
And our brain says, pain bad, stop everything. Even if it's like, it's just a little pain, but it may be bad, so let's stop everything. The good news is, once we're done with the exam and we've ruled out, there's no structural damage that we suspect, that means any pain you have, like, I stepped off a curb and it jabbed me, or I dropped my keys, or I got out of the car and I got that knife sticking in me, any of those things, it's just pain. There's zero damage when you feel the pain. And I don't want you to have pain, but I also don't want you to worry that something.
So that's why then walking is okay, like movement
100%.
is good.
It's not only okay, it's going to speed your recovery.
Yeah.
Movement is your friend.
Okay.
So let's check you out.
Okay.
The exam will go fast. If you can, lay on your back here and take as long as you need. I know getting up and down is a tricky part, right?
Yeah. Okay. So. Let's see, I'm trying to measure it, because scooching isn't easy.
If you fall to your, not that, but if you let your legs stay over here.
Stay over here.
And fall to your side slowly.
Right.
Let your legs lever up with you.
Yeah, that's better.
Often that's nicer.
Yeah.
Then you can roll onto your back if you can.
That's what happens every night at bedtime.
You okay laying here for a second like that?
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a yelling at you. Okay. So, let this leg relax if you can. I'm going to raise it slowly. You tell me when you're maxed out, when you cannot go any higher for whatever reason. Try not to help me. If you try to help me, it'll make your back hurt. You're doing great. Tell me when you're maxed out here.
Oh, this is starting to feel it.
This is good. This is really good. So,
I can feel it, but
that is 90 degrees.
Shooting.
Yeah.
Nothing shooting, but I mean,
this is
just soreness.
This is 90 degrees, which is perfect flexibility. So I consider normal to be 90 degrees feels easy to you. So good job. That means hamstrings nice and stretchy. Same thing, relax if you can. Tell me when you're maxed out here. This one's a little tighter.
It's kind of the same. I mean, I feel it, but it's nothing shooting yet.
And shoot, the kind of pain kind of doesn't matter.
And the other thing is, like, the slower you go, it seems to ease up as you go. Like it's
it's like a stretch.
Right. Yeah, just kind of.
Okay, so you've got normal flexibility in hammies, which is great. Is it sore when I poke the outside of your leg here at all?
Ticklish.
Okay, ticklish, not painful. Sorry. I guess ticklish is better than pain, right? And we'll check this side too. Any soreness there? Same? Okay. Relax if you can. I'm going to cross your legs slow. See if you can let this knee fall. Good. So I consider normal range of motion here. You could lay your shin flat when your hips are level. You're essentially there. So that suggests this left hip is nice and open. So good job. All your stretching is paying off, my friend. Same thing. See if you can let this one fall. A little tighter, but still really, really close to normal. Maybe you're an inch away from normal here. So a little tight in the right hip. I'm going to feel around on the front of your thigh. This may be ticklish. I apologize. Yeah, a little tightness in here. Oh, there's a bit right there.
Yeah, muscle tightness in my legs. Like I'll tell you, like all my life, my calf muscle. Like I think I carry everything in my calves.
Yes.
And I don't know why that is. My dad was a baseball player. You know, I always just had huge calves, you know, like his whole life and everything. And I don't know what that is, but I mean, and I have had trouble in the past, definitely with Achilles inflammation.
So we're going to check that out next. Let's try it. Could you roll face down?
It has actually improved over the last months and stuff, but I went through a time where
Careful, we're up high here. If you roll like a log, that may be nicer.
Yeah.
I can help you if you want.
But I mean, I went through a time where the Achilles was just absolutely debilitating.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're on the other side of that, mostly, and you've got arm rest.
I started to stretch.
And that's what I would tell you.
I think that Tim told me that you told him.
Yeah.
And I just was so committed to it. You know, the big stand on a step.
Yeah. Drop your heel off.
Straight drop the heel.
Yes.
Go past when you think you should.
Exactly.
And I was very committed to it, and ultimately I think that's what did it.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
honestly, I consider lack of flexibility to be the number one cause of all body pain.
Yeah.
Back, hip, knee, foot, ankle, shoulder, neck, wherever. And I think the reason that is because if you're too stiff to do life in a safe way, you know, squat and bend and carry your guitar case. Mm-hmm. If you're too stiff to do it the safe way, you're being forced to do it a weird way that can cause pain.
Right.
Or maybe your Achilles doesn't absorb impact as well because it's too stiff.
Right.
And it just complains in the form of pain.
And so all through my teens, maybe even some early 20s, gymnastics was my sport.
Oh.
And the thing that's weird about that sport is that it both destroys your body and it's the sport that teaches you to stretch the best.
Yes.
I mean, stretching was the first 45 minutes
Oh, yeah.
of every,
You require a lot more flexibility in gymnastics than other things.
Right.
So tell me when you can't go further this way. I'm going to push heel to butt. You may get some pressure in your low back as we do this. Tell me if you're maxed out. Ooh, quad's a little tight. So we got heel just barely to butt. So normal range of motion then. Go ahead.
About my knees in the long run.
Have you had knee injuries?
I went from gymnastics to ultimate frisbee,
Yeah.
and I think I did a number on my knees, basically, with those two sports.
Any visible swelling around knees, or do they
Not
buckle
really.
on you?
I'm just worried that
Yeah.
cartilage-wise, I think that's what I'm worried about, but I don't know.
So we're going to put those fears to rest, because knees, and by the way, let me check this other side too. By the way, everything we do for your back is also going to benefit knees, feet, ankles, and Achilles and all that stuff too. So I think we're going to get like a 3-for-1 win here.
Okay.
So let's check this side real quick, and I will comment on knees in a minute. You tell me when you're maxed out. I cannot harm you with this, just so you know. But you're in charge. Side feels a little tighter to me, maybe. I don't know. Look, we're getting you about there. That's actually about the same. So a little tight in the quads, not bad. And I'm going to lean on this hip, and I can already tell you, it is tight. We found this is likely your biggest reason for your back pain. So right now, your shin is straight up and down. I can get you maybe 3 degrees this way. Normal, I consider 25 to 30 degrees.
Wow.
So that just means your hip is mega tight, which we love, because I consider tight hips to be the #1 cause for low back pain. Super easy to fix. So this is already great news. Ooh, I feel that too. Little sore there? Or not too bad?
Yeah. Not as bad on the sides.
Yeah. And then a little bit next to tailbone, not bad. A little bit. I've seen worse, but definitely a little tight. Similar. Is this kind of the neighborhood of where your back hurts when it does?
That would be the left edge of it.
Okay.
It's pretty central.
Kind of under my hand here.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. I'll lean on your hip here and turn it. Oh, this one's better. This is much better.
I can tell the difference. That's so weird.
Yeah, and by the way, these kinds of issues like, whoa, why is my left hip so much tighter than right? They don't announce themselves as they're getting stiffer.
Yeah.
So very often it's shocking to see, wait a second, why is my left side just off the charts stiff and the right one's quite a bit better? You do have some tightness there too.
I'm left-handed as well.
And that's a possible contributor. And sometimes those match up, sometimes they don't. All right, you get to get up, my friend. Easy for me to say, right?
That's a question.
But I like everything I'm seeing. I don't see anything scary. I think you may be super easy to fix.
Yeah,
And you can stand or sit, whatever you need.
See, like a couple of days ago, that last little bit that I did right
Yes.
there wouldn't have. I don't think I would have made it.
Yes.
So today has been, a tiny bit better, and so.
So, you did great there. So, basically, flexibility issues is the big issue I see. And you've only got a couple areas that are problem areas. Hips are by far, they're the ones with the big arrows pointing at them saying this is the biggest deficit you have. Outer thighs a little bit, quads a little bit, calves are big ones, but they're probably, because they're further away from your low back, they're probably smaller contributors. The further you get away from the part that hurts, like hip is right next door. If it's really tight, it's probably a big reason. Calf's super tight, but maybe a smaller reason, but we're just going to fix them all.
Okay.
I bet you, see, we are Monday. I'll bet you that we can get you at least, just addressing these flexibility issues. Let's see, you got Tuesday, Wednesday, so you got 3 days before you head out. I bet we'll just say this, significant improvement through Thursday from applying these things we're talking about. And when I say significant, that means significant to you. Mm-hmm. So if you notice over these next 2 to 3 days, oh, I can still feel my back, but it's not as bad. It doesn't hurt as often. When it does hurt, it doesn't hurt as long. Getting up from a chair, rolling over in bed, in and out of the car, all those things, picking up your guitar case, picking up your keys, all that stuff, I'm going to bet it's going to start hurting less and moving better. And if we see that, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, like, what are the things that will re-injure it?
Structurally, I think you're fine.
Okay.
So I say that because
if I make a move and it shoots, I'm not necessarily
zero damage.
Okay, that was a big question I had.
Zero damage.
I think just not worrying about that so much would really help. Just to, because I was always afraid. It's like, oh my God, I just redid it.
Yes. Whatever the thing that went wrong is, I just did it again, and it's going to be getting worse. And
right.
Yeah. So you don't feel it, but I think you're as durable right now as you have ever been. I don't think there's anything torn, ruptured, fractured, herniated, or dislocated inside you. You just hurt. So here's my theory for why I think that happens. So if your hips, which is where all your tightness is, if they're too stiff to help you out when you're doing a squat, or you're getting up from a chair, or rolling or putting on your pants and socks, which I bet is interesting for you. If they're too stiff to do their part, that work, I think, gets sent to your low back. Mm-hmm. Someone has to do it.
Right.
If hips are too stiff, low back gets overloaded.
Okay.
And then what happens is, with low backs in particular, if you tweak your back, doesn't even have to be damaged, but it's not like it's an awkward thing. Oh, that was a little stiff. Your brain tells the muscles around that area to tighten up protectively. Mm-hmm. It's trying to help you by immobilizing your back. It's lockdown mode. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, cramps hurt, and they do immobilize you, and those are the symptoms you're having.
Right.
So if we can take away the reason your body was concerned in the first place, let's get some flexibility back, let's get you moving again, hopefully get some more sleep to do the recovery in. Your brain figures out, we don't need a cramp after all. It releases all that stuff and the pain goes away.
Okay.
This is my prediction about what's going to happen as you go through this over the next 2 to 3 days. I think you're going to do fine on your trip. You may even feel better when you get home than when you left. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
And if we see you trending better over the next 3 days, that appears to be our answer. We got it right. Keep doing what you're doing. If a week goes by and you're like, it's about the same, we look in other places. Mm-hmm. And in your case, it would probably be an MRI for your low back, just to see if there's anything going on inside your back that I can't see from the outside of you. Right. But I don't think we're going to need that stuff. I think what you and I do is going to work great. And I'm usually right.
Okay.
Not always, but usually.
That, yeah. There is another factor, and that is money. Money is very limited. For
yes.
Me, so, and insurance is not good, and
yes,
all that kind of stuff. But anyway, those are factors.
So let's prevent the need for anything else. I don't want you to even need me again.
Right. Can I just toss in one more quick concern?
Of course.
Something I want you to toss into the mix for me.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of my life right now, we got a lot of travel going on. One of my big goals. So my daughter is she's a rock climbing instructor at Crux, and she's outdoors. She's totally outdoors girl. She's 27 and she does that. Like upside down
overhang stuff. Yeah.
She's turning into a monster. Pretty cool, in a way. But not doing that with her. That's not what I mean. But one of my big goals for the year, and not just the year. The future. But this year in particular, I've got to get back outdoors. I really want to hike. Running is kind of. I don't know if I can do running. I don't think my knees are going to appreciate that at all. But
I wouldn't rule it out yet.
I want to get to hike. I want to get back to hiking.
Yeah.
I want to, and I mean mountain. Like I spent a lot of time in New Mexico, Colorado. My big goal is to get back out into nature, and And walking and hiking are just, it's one of my favorite things. Being outdoors, being in the mountains, I've got to have it. And so, I mean, everything from things to wear, to stretches, to, I mean, everything, I've got to get back to hiking somehow.
I think that's almost a slam dunk.
It's really important to me.
Okay. Then that becomes our goal. So your goals are our goals. And the closer as if we can get you approaching them, which starts with, oh, I can get out of the car and I can put on my pants, right? That's where it starts.
Right.
But we have goals way up here that we want to achieve too. But as long as the trend is aimed at those things, you're clear to walk today, man. You can go for a walk today. You cannot harm yourself walking.
That's what I wanted to know first, yeah.
You cannot harm yourself walking. It's impossible. And it's fantastic for all kinds of things, your stress and your sleep quality and all those things. And it's great for calming low backs down as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, not being able to, I don't do the gym thing. I just, I have hand weights and I do, push, I do my own, have my own system and stuff or whatever, but the not being able to exercise just drives me crazy.
Well, then we need you back into it. Not only is it okay to do those things starting today, and I'll give you some rules that make them safe.
Right.
But they are going to speed your recovery. Mm-hmm. And they're going to feed you up here too.
Right.
Because we need nourishment of various kinds, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Movement and love. I mean, we need all these things.
Right.
So that's just that is your nourishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're going to get there quickly. Okay. I'm glad you told me that. All right. So I'm going to put together your program here. I'm going to mention water. We'll say 3 liters. It's a good target. Protein, we said 110. And you'll see video clips in your inbox of me showing you all this stuff as well. Mentioning the whey protein here, we'll say 100 to 120. And then, so I'm going to try, we got tight hips. I'm going to give you 2 hip stretches to try. There's one on a bed, there's one on the floor. You can choose, you can try either or both. You don't have to do both, but just see which one seems like it works the best.
I've got yoga mats, like, I'm all set up for, yeah.
Perfect. You're clear to do any activity you want to do, as long as it doesn't give you a huge flare-up tomorrow that lasts all day or more.
Right.
And you can't know until tomorrow if that's going to happen, and it's too late, right? So to prevent that big flare-up, introduce any activity, whether it's your hand weights, whether it's a hike, whether it's getting on a bike, all that's on the table today. But make the first 2 sessions of it a stupid easy version of what you could do. Stupid easy means.
Got you.
If you could do a 2-hour.
One thing that seemed like it might have made it, I don't know if I'd use the word trigger, but might have made it worse right at the very, very beginning. I was a little sore and everything, but I was determined to do my workout, and I was doing 25-pound per hand,
curls,
and I think I might have pushed that too far.
It's possible.
And that I might have tried too hard and gone a little bit too long with that, and it did. And I could tell that it was like, okay, this is really kind of hurting my lower back a little bit,
It takes a lot of effort to stay straight up.
I just did it anyway,
So here's what I'll say about that.
Yeah.
So, first of all, there are no dangerous exercises. They don't exist. There are only dangerous doses of them.
Right, okay.
So, in your case, you may have done a little more weight than your back was happy with. You didn't do any damage in there, though. So I think that may have triggered your existing undercurrent of back pain, or maybe pushed it across the pain threshold. So now you feel it and you didn't before. But I don't think it did damage to you at all. We just checked you out. So there are triggers and there are causes. And I think in your case, the flexibility is more likely the cause. And then things like all the things that hurt now, getting up from a chair, putting on pants, doing curls, All those things are just things that irritate something that's already unhappy.
Right.
So they're not dangerous and they're not causing your pain or making things worse. They're just what we would expect from an unhappy back.
Right. Okay.
And again, we'll know if I'm right or not quickly in days.
Right.
Because you'll be getting better. All right, let's go to work. You ready?
Yeah.
So when you're able, let me get you face down here again. I'll walk you through everything I do before I do it, so I won't surprise you with anything. Would it help if this is a little higher?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see. I think I can
clamber aboard there.
Yeah.
I won't let you roll off. Good. So I'm going to start with some massage work on your hips first. You okay here for a second?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do 12 passes like this. Let me know if it's unbearable, and I will go lighter. Ooh, I feel that. But take as much pressure as you can, because that just means we get more done today. So when it comes to massage, the way to tell if you need it is if it hurts to do. Lucky you. Ooh, I feel that one. But that's useful, because that is your body telling you where the problem is and telling you how to fix it. So literally any spot on you that hurts to poke on, like these, needs massage. Also, massage is completely safe. So you are never going to harm yourself with it. You're not going to puncture an organ, you're not going to rupture a tendon, it's in bruising you a little bit, which is worth the other benefits, but you're not going to do damage. Are you regretting your decision to come see me yet?
Not yet.
As long as it helps, right?
So do you mean like just getting a massage?
Oh, great question.
Where, I mean, I don't know what you, like
You can do this yourself. You do all this yourself. So with a foam roller, it's a great massage tool, and a softball. Just a regular softball you play catch with. Throw one in your bag when you leave on your trip. It's a great massage tool, especially good for working around hips, because it's small enough to get in these little spots that the foam roller is too big to fit into. So I want to spend a minute or two in this fun spot here.
where do I get a softball?
Academy or Amazon or...
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'd send you to Play It Again Sports, which is on Anderson Lane. You know, Anderson, like 2 exits down, low back.
Like Anderson, what, like Burnett or
Anderson, not even that far. So it's right next to Jimmy John's. Let's see. So that street would be
I go to Genuine Joe's Coffee sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's not that far.
It's not that far.
No.
Okay.
So it's before Burnett. So it's I think it's Oak Knoll. It's like your second light.
Okay.
It's called Play It Again Sports. It's a used sporting good place, which is great for all kinds of things, but they sell single baseballs and softballs.
Okay.
It's going to be a great investment because you can, just like I'm doing here, if you lay down on the floor, lift your butt up, put the ball under you, lower onto it, you can do the same stuff. And with massage, there is no special skill needed. All you're doing is exploring the whole area, finding the spots that hurt, and then spend about 2 minutes beating them up per side. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
If it hurts, you need it. And we'll do the same thing here. I'll lean here and turn you 12 passes. Let me know if it's unbearable, but take as much as you can. Ooh, I'm gonna wake you up with some pain today. Yeah, I like to think of this kind of work. It's like you're making a pain investment. You're investing some pain now for less later. Good. You're letting me get in there nice and deep. This is good.
So really it is just that letting the softball kind of dig into the butt like that.
That's it, man.
Just
Find sore spots, beat them up for 2 minutes per side. That's really all massage is. You'll hear plenty of fancy techniques, and I'm using a technique on you here that works well. It's hard to do yourself, but the thing you can do yourself works great as well. Last one there. Good. And spend a minute or so in here as well. Again, this can give you some zingy weirdness down your leg, but it's not bad for you. Ooh, I feel that. taking deep pressure. This is good, man. So remind me, what's your kind of music do you guys play? Are you in a band? Are you singer-songwriter?
I'm solo now. I'm a singer-songwriter. You know, I'm basically a vagabond. You know, run around with a guitar and books in my trunk.
Oh, I love it.
So I do poetry and music, singer-songwriter. You know, honestly, my favorite thing I do is house concerts.
Oh.
And it's kind of a nationwide, you know, I mean, well, and not just here, but Europe, wherever it's a really popular concert model now.
Like in someone's home, you mean?
Yeah, just, you know, in a house, anywhere from 15 to 50 people, it doesn't ever matter. And what it is that venues have gotten too expensive, and they've gotten too troublesome with tickets and weird things, and coffee shops and bars are too noisy.
Right.
People want to actually listen to music.
Yeah.
And so the house concert is a much more intimate, you know, kind of thing. And I do mostly that, you know. It's like that's what I'll be doing in Oregon. That's what I'll be.
Oh, I love it. I mean, that's how I prefer to listen. I mean, I had friends invite me to ACL Fest.
Oh, I don't ever go to
Oh my God.
South
I mean,
by or any of that kind of stuff, you know.
to me, so by the way, this is your actual low back itself. Softball works great here as well. So if you were on your back, lift your butt up, put the ball just above waistband, and then you can kind of slowly swing hips side to side and do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I only go to see live music for two reasons. One is if I can get close enough to actually see and feel like I'm next to reasonably close to the person performing, because that's an experience you can't get from a radio, right? Or a YouTube video.
Right.
And the other reason is the shared experience with the audience.
Yeah.
Which is also something you can't get from YouTube. And
well, you know, we've gotten so far removed from the attention aspect.
Yes.
You know, the music and headphones, earbuds, blah. I mean, there's a constant soundtrack in the world.
Yes.
And I've noticed a lot of people really, they want to listen again.
Yes.
They want to actually hear it. And the house concert is just perfect for that, you know.
Yes.
And
You're helping humanity, my friends.
well,
And yourself, I'm sure. All right, you get to get up. You survived your beating.
okay.
As slowly as you need to. Good.
Wow. Yeah, that last one, there was a couple of spots, see where you were digging, like over here.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly where I was like, wow,
Yeah,
okay,
your
that's
left.
really,
Right through there.
yeah.
Now I want to show you a trick for standing up and sitting down. I'll demo for you if you step to the side.
Okay.
So getting up from sitting is tough, right?
Can be, yeah.
Can be. So if you're sitting, scoot to the front of your seat, feet all the way up under you,
Okay.
hands pressed on the very top of your thigh.
Really?
Really top. Press as hard as you can as you get up. Now to sit down, you do the opposite. Press here.
Try to
press,
get your feet back a little.
butt out behind you. Press down hard, hard, hard on your legs. The harder you press, the less it's going to hurt.
How weird.
Isn't that? Now,
It's amazing.
Now scoot to the front edge of
Okay,
your
so
seat.
scoot to the,
All the way to the front.
okay.
Feet stay under you like that. Now press here again. Hard, hard, hard. The harder you press, the less it hurts.
Oh my God.
It's
It's amazing.
So here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. All you're doing is carrying the weight through your arms instead of your back.
Okay.
You're transferring it from arm to leg through here, so your back doesn't have to do as much. So it's not that you have to do this forever, but
Right.
if your back's ever sideways on you, try this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's nice to have a little, ooh, this thing is really tough, I can now do more easily.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that is
Okay.
amazing. Wow.
So try a little walking around real quick, and then
Okay.
I want to go over the foam rolling with you.
Okay. And where am I gonna get that?
The foam roller?
Yeah.
I get them on Amazon. I'm including one in your inbox, and I know you're traveling. The softball is probably going to do everything you need, but most of what you need. Because your biggest deficits are here. Softball fixes that. Just a regular softball,
Okay.
which we'll go over too.
Okay.
But I do want to see how your IT bands, if they need it or not. That's the tendon down the outside of the thigh. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. We'll see if you can do it. And we'll see if you need it. So to do this, roll your IT band. You start with your down leg straight.
Okay.
Start at waistband. Walk your way along all the way to the knee like this and back. And you can use this foot to balance as you roll. Now, I know getting on the floor, it sounds like the last thing you want to try, right? You want to give it a try? Let's see if you can.
All right.
I'll grab us a timer.
So let's see.
Yeah, you got it. Just put like top of the hip on there, you got it. You can use hand, I like elbow, whatever feels best. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. How you doing?
Okay, so just get the leg straight.
Perfect. So I'll give you a 2-minute clock. Walk your way along, and you can follow with this foot up here for balance. Yes, yes, yes. See if you can make it all the way to the knee. You're doing great. Right there, and then all the way back to waistband. You're killing it, man. Keep on going to a little further, right there, and then 2 more passes just like that. And try to get that right foot over in front. There you go. So when you do this on your own, you always start with 3 up and down passes first. These 3 passes are the test to see if you need this or not. All you're looking for is, does it hurt to roll any of that area?
Yeah.
It does.
Let me see.
Try another
That
pass.
last pass there was a
A little rough?
right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Good,
Wow.
good. Okay, we have our answer.
Okay.
So now
And
that
then-
you've done your 3 passes,
Oh, right in there. Oh, that's it, right
okay,
there.
so now you know where it hurts. That means spend the rest of your clock rolling only that spot.
I see what you
You
mean.
can handle it.
Okay. Yeah.
It is a workout just being on here. Yeah, see if you can spend the rest of this clock. You have 42 seconds going up and down just over those painful spots.
There. There.
So the 3 passes are the test to see if you need this. The roller told you where it hurts, and now the roller's fixing it for you.
It really hurts, man.
This can be excruciating. Here's the good news. You only have to do, first of all, you can't harm yourself with it. Number 2, you only have to do this every 3 days. So just twice a week. And this will start hurting less and less as sessions go by, which is nice, but that's also the proof you're fixing that problem.
Okay.
Once this doesn't really hurt to do that much anymore, it'll happen in a couple weeks. You're done. That means you fixed that problem.
Okay.
You can try the other side. How's your back holding up so far?
So, well, okay. Okay, actually, I mean, with this.
Forgot all about it, right?
Yeah, the thigh hurt too much.
So I just trick you by giving you pain somewhere else and forget about the back pain. All right, you're great. 2-minute
Wow.
clock.
About here?
That's perfect. So basically, you're asking the roller if there's a problem. It's telling you. It's obvious.
Not
And-
as bad, but right, yes, kind of similar.
And then all the way back to waistband. Now each pass gets a little deeper, so it may hurt a little more as passes go by,
Right.
but you got 2 more, still holding up okay? You're killing it, man. These can be shockingly painful because you don't hurt here going through life, right?
Right.
Your legs don't hurt. So why does it hurt so much to roll over? They sneak up on you. They just get tight. And once you fix these flexibility problems, you don't have many, they don't grow back overnight, which is nice. So it may take you 2 weeks to clean up most of this stuff, let's say.
This leg, I feel almost a little bit lower.
Uh-huh.
closer to the knee, but the thigh also.
So now that you know where you hurt, spend the rest of your clock rolling just those spots.
What do you have there? How many?
48 seconds
3
left.
minutes? What do you do?
2 minutes starts.
2 minutes?
So my 2-minute rule,
God.
2-minute rule is how long to spend per side. If it's a thigh, a butt, whatever, shoulder, 2 minutes is a good dose. Good amount of time to spend on a spot.
Really? Yeah, it does. It definitely goes lower
Yeah.
on this leg.
And it's common. You're doing great, my friend. You got 15 seconds. It's common to have one leg that hurts more than another, or maybe they hurt in different places. None of that means anything special. It just means one leg might need it more than the other. And, oh, you're almost there. Good, 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 good.
Okay.
You made it. You get to get up, my friend.
Okay.
This one, what, you're like, what the hell did I sign up for
That's a
today?
pretty big sting. That's a good. Well, I don't know. I mean, gymnastics is one of those sports where you kind of, it's like, it's supposed to hurt, the flexibility, all the stretching that you do and all the splits, the things that you do and everything. So,
Give you some flashbacks?
yeah.
Well, that training is probably good for you. Try walking around a little bit as normally as you can. Fake it till you make it. And let's just see how everything feels so far.
I mean, walking actually feels better
Good.
at the moment.
Good.
Or maybe it's just because it's less painful
Yeah.
than what I was doing.
Whatever the reason, we'll take less painful.
Right, yeah.
So last thing we'll go over here today, Nathan, is calf stretch. There's a million versions.
yeah.
This one is one of the ones that seems to work best for most people, but whatever calf stretch feels most aggressive to you is the best one. But all you need for this is just something about this tall that you can prop your foot on. Straight leg, hold here, send your hips forward to apply the stretch.
Okay.
We'll just see if you can feel one.
Okay. So,
Good.
just
Perfect.
leg straight.
Straight leg, and ease hips forward. You feel any stretch?
Oh, yeah.
That's our answer. So I'm giving you a 1-minute clock. The rule for all stretches is misery for a minute. As
Okay.
aggressive as you can handle for the clock.
So, like, keep going if I can,
Yes.
or
Yeah, max
just
it out.
pushing from the hip, though.
Yes. So you'll see, to make the stretch bigger, hips forward. See how that works? To make the stretch less, hips back.
Right.
So that's where the gas and the brake are. But the right amount of stretch is barely tolerable, which means you can last the clock, but you're kind of miserable. 2 or 3 times a day gets you the results fastest. But even if you just did them once a day, you're still going to get looser every day. The target you're working toward with this stretch is getting to the point where you can't feel a stretch when you do it. In fact, patients will tell me, I think I'm doing it wrong. I'll say, why? Well, I can't feel a stretch anymore. I said, that means you're done. That's what normal calves feel like.
Okay.
Now, when you do this on your own, you see your foot slipping off there? When you do this on your own, do it out of your hokets. It's going to be a bigger stretch.
Do it out of what?
Out of your shoes, because your hokets have a big heel.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay.
So they're reducing the angle a little bit. But if you can feel the stretch, it's working.
Okay.
Try to put a little, slightly more foot on there. Yes. You'll see the angle of your foot makes a big difference when you're applying the stretch. Feel it? So 1-minute clock, 2 or 3 times a day. I don't know while you're doing this if you can see me over here, but you can just figure out places, like I can do it right here. I can do the stretch right here. Anything that's about this tall off the floor, you can do this with.
Okay.
Or like you said, dropping the heel off a step. For me, dropping the heel off a step doesn't feel like as big a stretch as this.
Right. This is definitely, and I love the calf stretch because, well, yeah, this one is, I think this side is maybe tighter.
Yeah.
It seems like, wow.
So anytime you do a stretch or anytime you do massage, think of it as I'm checking to see if I need it. You don't know until you do it. and then the thing will tell you.
Right, exactly.
You weren't sure if you need the roller. Well, boy, did it ever tell you.
Yeah.
And it's never unclear. It's never something you have to decipher. It's in your face.
Right. Right. So, okay. So what am I'm ordering a foam roller.
Yeah. I put a link in your inbox. That's $20 on Amazon. That's all you need, my friend.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And
All right.
you gonna try your trick sitting down there?
It's been a workout.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna email all this to you now, Nathan. Any questions about this stuff so far?
No,
Okay.
this is great.
I think you're gonna kill it, man.
I am so glad. Thanks to Tim.
He's such a good guy.
He is
salt of the earth.
Yeah, he's really helped me in many ways. Not just. He's a good guy.
He really is. I met him 15 years ago, probably.
Really, yeah.
In Austin's Fittest Doctor competition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And as you know, I'm guessing he's still a monster athlete. But he.
Well, I think he's struggled with Achilles. He has struggled with. I think he's. A while back he was just for sitting. He was having to use a special chair, and I think you ought to get on to him.
I need to talk to him. I haven't seen her talk to him.
He seems
in
okay
years.
now, but I don't know. I'm not sure, but I've seen him. But it's just. I think it's just kind of relaxing into age. It's like it's not a big deal to worry about it. It's just things change, so just change what you do. It's not. Just the one big thing for me is just wanting to get back into hiking. That's been my big.
I think
Because
that
I've just got to get outside.
Yeah.
And we're hitting that time of year now where you can.
it's the sweet spot. It's the sweet spot.
Where I swear to God, in late July, August, early September, I lose my will to go outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't even want to step out the door. I'm really looking for just somewhere else to be. I'm heading north or something next time. There's no way.
I don't blame you, man. Especially
year was
this summer
ridiculous.
was just insane.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So Nathan, I'm also going to give you some seated back exercises. They're going to help you in the car and on the plane.
Okay.
I bet. So basically, our backs don't like sitting because they're doing nothing for so long and everything just stiffens up, right? So you don't have to be perpetually moving while you sit, but there's some little easy things you can sprinkle across your plane flight or your car trip.
That's good.
Just to break up the sitting so your back feels a lot better, hopefully, when you get out.
When I do drive now, long trips and stuff, I used to be the one, I got in the car, man, I could just drive until until the bathroom was just an absolute, whatever. I could just go.
Yeah.
And I stop a lot more often now, get out, go into a coffee shop, walk around the car, or do something, I have to stop more often now.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
But you mentioned age before. A lot of the symptoms, perhaps most of the symptoms we associate with getting older. Oh, I'm weaker, I'm stiffer, I don't recover as fast, I'm slower, I'm more wobbly. All these things are often not from getting old, they're just from us neglecting a few things, some self-care.
And cumulative neglect. Which is why I have started stretching again after years.
I'm so glad. It's a great instinct.
And just saying, yeah, that's so.
And now, in your inbox, you have the list of, it's only a few stretches, calf and hip, and some self-massage that addresses your specific needs.
Okay.
So think of the things in your inbox as being the core tools that you're using to get your back feeling happy.
Okay.
Then you touch those up for life, meaning once your flexibility is normal, massage doesn't really hurt, then you check them maybe once a week to see if you need them yet. Mm-hmm. And the workload drops off a map. Mm-hmm. So I did all the work you're doing 20 years ago. Now I stretch about 10 minutes a week. Foam rolling, you got to do it twice a week. For a while it hurts like hell, then you're done. Twice a year I do now. So, I mean, the workload really does.
Just to release it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're checking it frequently. That's what keeps it from getting that bad again in the first place.
Right, okay.
So you're all done, my friend.
Cool.
I can check you out when you're ready.
All right.
I say we just try this session together and see how you do. I think you're going to do fine if you apply all these things. I think you will. But I'm going to rely on you to tell me if you're not.
Okay.
That's the most important thing to me, is if you're not showing significant improvement through this week. And that means significant to you. I'm betting you will. But if it's like, Doc, it's been 2 days and I can't really tell a difference, or it's Thursday, I'm a little worried, at least shoot me an email. Say, oh, maybe try this or that, or.
Okay.
But I think you're going to do well.
All right. Man, thank you so much. It was, man, I mean, that, that day of driving 6 hours to do a concert that night and driving back, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was just a solid 24-hour period of, I'm dying here. Like, this is,
We're gonna get to test our results quickly when you get in the car and get on the plane.
Right.
So what I'll predict is that both from improving your flexibility from the stuff we talked about here and have already done, from that and from these little seated back exercises that you just use here and there throughout your trip, I'm gonna bet you that when you hop off the plane, you're like, oh, that's not as bad as I was expecting. That's not too bad.
Yeah. What about knee pain when I'm hiking?
Yes. So we didn't even check your knees out. I'm betting that drops off for the same reason.
Okay, so, all right. Is it okay, like if I do, I think what I have the Incrediwear, they go under your pants. It's not a brace.
Like a compression thing?
Yeah, just like a
sleeve.
compression thing.
You can wear it.
But do you recommend not doing it?
I recommend not.
What if I get sore like
Keep it in your pack.
halfway through the hike and
Keep it in your pack. I don't like braces in general, just as this is what I wear all the time. Because braces make us dependent on braces.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to need a bunch of extra.
You don't necessarily think I have like a bad knee that I'm destroying.
Your range of motion's good in your knees. So that says probably not arthritis.
So what about when I get, when I kneel down far enough and I'm getting up and it's just
a big pop?
Yeah.
Is there severe pain when you hear the pop?
No, it's not. I don't get severe. No, there's not pain.
Okay. It just sounds wrong. It feels like something broke almost. Does it feel better after?
I don't know.
Sometimes
I guess I hadn't thought about that because it doesn't necessarily hurt.
Yeah. It just feels traumatic and what's that about?
It just sounds bad.
Yes. So here's my rule for pops and sounds. Hear my ankle there? Oh, it's not going to pop now. I pop all over the place, normally.
Okay.
So, and with sounds, crunch, pop, click, snap, grind, any sounds you hear, as long as you don't have severe pain when you hear the sound, ignore it.
Okay.
It's not bad for you. There's a couple of non-scary things that can happen. Sometimes it's just from tightness around your knee muscles, and they shift things a little out of place, and the pop is your body realigning your kneecap.
My knees are getting sore when I'm hiking or walking or whatever. It's not because they're bad.
I don't think your knees are bad at all. Of course, we haven't done a knee exam. It may just be, again, your gait's thrown off a little bit because of stiffness.
And it comes and goes. For instance, Santa Fe a couple of weeks ago, it was a good solid 2.5, 3 hour, and it was like, it was a trail. I went to a peak and down and everything, and I was surprised I made it.
Yeah. And
I think it's just because of I've been on a slow comeback for a long time and stretching.
So remember, the dose of exercise can make things achy and stiff and sore too. So if that was a bigger, longer, more intense hike than you usually do, of course your knees complain a little bit.
Okay. So
now, if you did that same hike regularly, I bet you they wouldn't.
Right.
Because your body adapts to the work, right?
Yeah. One of the things for me that's left over from gymnastics is pretty strong thighs. I have pretty strong legs.
Good.
You know, but so tonight, like, go for a walk if I want to.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
That's
In
what
fact, I've got something just for you, Nathan.
Uh-oh. Does this one hurt too?
Nope. Completely painless.
What is this?
It's your license to move.
Oh, excellent. I like it. Okay.
I mean, we're laughing about it.
No, that's really the question I needed answered more than anything.
Yep.
I mean, that was really what, I was like, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? That was my biggest worry.
It's not just you, it's all of us.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. If we don't know what's causing the pain, it makes sense to, well, let's maybe,
Right.
we need to find out what's causing it to see what's safe and what's not. I think you're great inside. I think inside you're just as durable as you've ever been, which means that opens the door for all your movement world.
Mm-hmm.
And movement is not only okay, it's going to speed your recovery.
Mm-hmm.
We need you moving for here and all your parts.
Mm-hmm. And sleep.
Sleep.
The not exercise, the thing that scared me most about not being able to do anything was like, oh gosh, this is going to make the sleep worse.
Yes.
And that was my, it's like, because when I don't exercise, the sleep thing is almost guaranteed.
And that one thing can take you down. That can make all your other therapies bounce off you if you're not getting enough. If you're getting 3 hours of sleep a night, it doesn't matter what massage or stretches we do to you. This is the limiting factor.
Okay. All right. And what was your sleep miracle?
THC.
Okay. Yeah. I found some pretty decent gummies in Santa Fe, and I have done that. Can you tell me a little bit about what you get, what you use, and how much?
I just smoke the flower. I do 2 puffs before bed at night. Because what
do you mean by smoke the flower?
I just get the it looks like just the powdered, or not powdered, but just the buds. Mm-hmm. Put them in a little water pipe and smoke them. Of course, you can get, and Oregon may have gummies there too.
Now, do you, like, are gummies, like, if you find something good, they're good as well?
Oh yeah, all we care about is the THC.
Okay.
Which is the active ingredient in whether it's the buds, that we all seen a little baggie of, green leaves in there, or it's a gummy, it's the THC is my understanding. And the indica is the sleepy time kind.
Indica.
And the way I remember that is because I never enjoyed smoking growing up, but it's been a lifesaver.
See, what was strange for me is that I've tried, because, I have a 27-year-old daughter, you try to be a cool dad. I've tried smoking marijuana and it doesn't
seem to do anything?
It doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know what, but man, if I get, too much of an edible, it's like I've had 4 margaritas or something, which is another thing I'm a fan of, but is a good, I make a very, very lean, 0 sugar, lean, mean margarita or whatever that is very popular with family and friends.
I bet.
And that kind of thing. But smoking marijuana was strange, and then what it was is that what I am is really careful with amount. But on edibles, like a gummy or a cookie or whatever it is, I noticed it's like, boy, I can very quickly get too much of this.
Yeah. So you want to know how much is in there? Yeah. Because all we're talking about is the dose that's in the thing with the dose you just took. Mm-hmm. And for me with edibles, I just got back went to Colorado to visit my brother in July, and I brought back some gummies, and they were 10 milligrams each. And I found if I took one of them, I'd be relaxed. If I took 2 of them, I was out.
Yeah, and I'll have to look at. So you're saying those were 10 milligrams?
Yeah,
10 milligrams.
But you could get 20 and cut them in half or something.
Right. Okay.
Or quarter them.
Yeah. So I need to learn more about that. And
I'm no expert, but I can just tell you how effective it's just a lifesaver it's been for me.
Right.
For both pain and just getting in.
Well, my daughter is.
Well, you may just ask her.
She is an expert.
You should just ask her.
So, I'm interested. I'm going to ask her about indica. I want to see what.
The way to remember indica is It makes you fall indica couch.
Okay, got it.
If you're like, oh, I
Right.
don't feel like doing anything.
Well, that's the old, one tequila, 2 tequila, 3
Tequila floor, yes.
So,
That's right. Here, I can check you out when you're ready there.
okay, here we go.
So, Nathan, I think you're going to do fantastic. You've already, I'm impressed that you were able to do the things we did here today, because with as bad as your back has been bothering you, and you handled it. And movement's your friend. If you have questions about anything, email me.
Okay, I absolutely. And, just the main reason I wanted to come here was, I wanted to get in my head, not just what's going on right now.
Yeah.
What I've got to get into is I've got to get into a mode of keeping it from happening to begin with.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because I travel for a living.
Yes.
I can't be demobilized like that in
Yes.
a hotel room somewhere and
Yes.
blah. It's like,
So these
because I wouldn't be able to load
tools,
my car. I wouldn't be able to, I can't, it would be a disaster.
it becomes existential very quickly.
Yeah.
So the same tools that improve flexibility, which again, I think is that and sleep are your biggest issues. Same tools that fix flexibility, touch it up for life. So, and to me, getting out of pain now, that's good. Obviously you want to get out of pain now, but keeping it from coming back is the much bigger win, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
And knowing I don't even have to worry about my back. Because, even when your back's feeling good, you may be like, oh, when's it going to hit me?
Also, like when I do outdoor work, I work with rocks. I've gotten a lot more careful. But can you give me any tips about don't do that, or of course I don't. I try to avoid the back brace, for the same reason. I have one of those really nice kind of double wrap. But I don't. What I want to do is be more careful, do it right.
Yep.
Just is it mostly doing it too long?
It's a bigger dose than your body can handle. That's all an injury is.
Right.
If I can explain a little bit. So moving rocks and working in flower beds and gardening and hiking up mountains, none of those things are dangerous. You can exceed what your body's capable of in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Water, we have to have it to live. I could drink so much that it kills me. Now, is it water's fault? No, it was the dose.
Right.
So when in doubt, slow your movements down. Slow is safe, hard to hurt yourself in slow motion.
Okay.
The other thing is if there's an activity that you want to do that you haven't done in a couple weeks, make the first round or two of it a stupid easy version.
Okay.
So instead of doing the whole project today, maybe it's like, I want to do 15 minutes of it. It's been a couple months since I stacked rocks. I want to do it 15 minutes, slow and light, kind of get my body used to the movements. So you find a safe entry point into it that you can then add to in future sessions as your body adapts to it by getting stronger.
Okay.
The other thing I'll say, stacking rock is going to make your back stronger. It can't not.
If I do it. Yeah.
That's the only way strength happens is from doing more work than you're used to doing.
Right. Yeah.
And then your body adapts to that by getting stronger. And the stronger you are, the harder you are to hurt.
Yeah.
Movement is your friend. Knees, by the way, are not wearable parts. Meaning, they don't have a certain number of miles in them and then they fall apart. Which is how we think of it. I don't want to wear the cartilage out. You'd mentioned that. Cartilage needs use to stay.
Mm-hmm.
If we had you lay in bed for 2 months immobile, your cartilage would soften up and it accelerates degeneration to not move.
Okay.
So movement is what keeps knees from wearing out.
Okay. Excellent.
Not the opposite.
That's very, very, very helpful. Yeah.
You got a lot of good years left in you, man.
Well, thank you for the help, man. I really, really appreciate it because I got to tell you, when it comes to the fear of not being able to connect with outdoors, I get pretty emotional because it's just, that's one of the most powerful connections in my life, and with everything that's going on in my life, on a personal level, it's like if I wasn't able to connect with nature, I'd
It nourishes you.
Yeah, it's really.
You need your nourishment. I think you're going to do fantastic. Get out there, enjoy some.
I just can't thank you enough, man. Yeah, it's-
Well, let's wait for the pat on the back until your back feels great. How's
Okay,
that?
all right.
But I mean, I'm definitely glad to see you happy, but I'm even more glad when you're hopping up and climbing hills and stacking rocks.
Well, I'm going to get back to that, and I will. I'll go get me a softball right now
All right.
on the way to the coffee shop, and I'll.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be.
Which side of the road is it on?
It's on the right.
On the right. Okay.
So once
play it
you-
again.
Played Against Sports is in Strip Center along with like a pizza place, Jimmy John's.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it very much. Thanks.
And it's going to be a faster way out.
Okay.
The front parking lot's right there.
Great. Thank you.
No better. Keep me posted if you have questions.
I will.